My wife's best friend kissed me. Now my wife wants to control my life. I've been married to my wife for 2 years. She and her best friend Lynn have been close for over 15 years, long before I ever met either of them. To be honest, I never saw any signs that Lynn had feelings for me. She and I had always been cordial, even friendly, but never anything more. She visited often, sometimes alone, sometimes with her boyfriend, and my wife never had an issue with our interactions. Until 2 days ago. The drunken kiss. Lynn showed up at our house drunk out of her mind. She was crying, absolutely sobbing, and I assumed something horrible had happened. I helped her inside, trying to calm her down, but she kept hugging me and saying things like, "I wish I could find a man like you. Why do I always end up with losers?" At first I let her vent, assuming she just needed a safe space to process whatever breakup or drama she was going through. But then, out of nowhere, she kissed me. I was stunned. For a moment, I didn't even react. But then I shoved her off and told her to stay away. She immediately started apologizing, sobbing even harder, saying she didn't mean to and it was just a mistake. I knew I couldn't let her drive, so I took her home and left her there. When my wife got home and saw Lynn's car in the driveway, she asked what had happened. I told her everything, except the kiss. The aftermath. Since that night, Lynn has been blowing up my phone, begging me not to tell my wife about the kiss. "Please, it was a mistake. I was drunk. If you tell her, I'll lose my best friend." I didn't respond, but I was torn. On one hand, if it really was a drunken mistake, I didn't want to be the reason my wife lost her lifelong friend. On the other hand, if my wife ever found out on her own, she'd probably never trust me again. I thought I was protecting her. I thought I was keeping the peace. But I was wrong. Telling the truth and paying the price. I finally decided that honesty was the best policy and told my wife everything. Big mistake. She was furious. Not because Lynn kissed me, but because I hid it from her at all. "Why didn't you tell me the moment it happened? Why did you lie to me?" I told her I was scared and didn't want to ruin her friendship. I reassured her that I had never cheated and never would. But she didn't see it that way. Through tears and rage, she laid down new rules. I was not allowed to talk to any of her friends. I had to block Lynn permanently. I had to have an open phone policy, meaning she could check my phone anytime she wanted. And if I ever hid anything from her again, she would leave me. I agreed to everything. I wanted to fix things. I wanted my wife to trust me again. But something felt wrong. She wasn't just mad. She was punishing me. The truth about my wife. The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt. I went to Lynn and asked her for the truth. She hesitated, but eventually admitted, "Your wife has always been insecure about you. She brags about you constantly, but she also doesn't want any woman near you. She doesn't even trust me, her best friend, around you. She's obsessed with keeping you to herself." Then she told me something that changed everything. She told all her friends that it was your idea to cut us off, that you didn't want to talk to any of us anymore. That's when it clicked. My wife had lied to everyone. She wasn't just mad at me for hiding something, she wanted to control me. Lynn then admitted that she kissed me because she had genuine feelings for me, not because she was drunk. I love you, not her, and I hate that she treats you like a possession. I was done. Walking away. I went home and confronted my wife. She didn't deny it. "I did this for our sake. You should be grateful that I want you all to myself." That's when I knew. This wasn't love. This was control. I packed a bag and left that night. When she realized I was serious, she began calling, texting, begging me to come back. I sent her one final text. "I'm filing for divorce. Because love isn't about control. And I refuse to spend the rest of my life under someone's thumb." So, to anyone reading this, never let your partner dictate your life. Love should feel like freedom, not a cage. And to my now ex-wife, you played yourself. You played